If you had the option to restart your life from the beginning once you die, would you and why? With the same life? To keep my brain the way it is now? Do I get to change things or just relive it? I would love to restart my life over with the knowledge I had now because I know the biggest mistakes of my life and how to fix them. Who to never waste time with. Who is going to stand by me during the worst part of my life? Who is just hanging out with me 'cause I picked up the check? Who actually cares about me? Who I actually care about in the end? To quote Bender, if I thought I had to live another whole life after this one, I'd kill myself right now. I couldn't ask my parents to go through all that again. I mean, the 80s were hard enough on their own. I've seen your reply to other asking about details of your question, so here's what I would do. Yes, having the opportunity to start the same life with the chance to take different decisions is too tempting to not accept it. Of course, I don't know if those different choices would be better or worse, but definitely I would accept the chance. Yes, because, eternal life but without the boredom of continuity of consciousness. Is this like a new game plus mode where I get to retain everything I learned from my first life, but life is also harder than before? Or, even if my life is the same and I don't have the chance to change anything, yes. I would love to live again the years I got to spend with my childhood doggos. I would hug them more, take better care of them, be happier with them. They passed away in 2016 and since then it feels like time stopped. God, I miss them heartbreak. Will I have all my current memory? The question is a paradox. If you died and started a new life, you wouldn't be you anymore. The new person would be another new person, just like all the babies being born today. Unless we're talking about memories somehow carrying over in the ether, there is nothing left to make you, you, anymore. Up until and long after you die, new lives will be started, and they will be conscious. The consciousness will look and feel very similar to the one you have now, and it will live through that entire life from start to finish. You might as well think of them all as past and future lives, or other lives being lived simultaneously. Our language isn't so good at describing nonlinear time. Well, I would totally do it. I would use my knowing of who is who and what will happen to prepare myself and do things better. Also, if I knew what was going to happen eventually, I would probably note down a few lottery numbers. Never. For all of the horrible things that have happened in my life, I'd not want to change a thing. Even if it would be exactly the same, I would spend the first 25 years just longing for my son. If it were to be different, I know I'd likely not have my exact child. I'd rather be dead. If I can restart with memories of certain moments in my life where I made stupid decisions, and I knew making a different choice would have had better outcomes. 0.100%. Honestly, I would. I would change so many of the mistakes I made, and help more people out and be more wise about certain things. Of course, 'cause I'll just buy Bitcoin and be a billionaire. Can I be born in a different country? I don't think I would. Purely for my own sanity. I would look at it all with this weird lens of knowing what might happen and already knowing the people, and would start to overthink it all. As horrible as my life can be, it would be 10 times worse if I was going around like, oh, Jeremy's going to betray me in 5.5 years, so I'll miss him. And let's try to get this I'm queer thing going quickly so we don't have to deal with the suicidal thoughts, and on, you know. It would honestly be better to just move on. No. Unless the butterfly effect is not real, and I'm guaranteed to wind up with my wife and kids regardless of timeline changes. My childhood sucked, make no mistake, but my family now is worth all that pain, easily. I'm not going through that shit again, hell no. Would I know what happened in this life so that I could avoid the mistakes the next time around? Because if so, absolutely. I would avoid every mistake I've ever made. I wouldn't have suffered those childhood head injuries because I'd know not to play fucking bat catcher without a helmet when I'm 7 years old. I'd know who to avoid, who to let into my life. I'd know what to do and what not to do. I'd do things right and have a great life. I'd also do future man things like stop 9/11. Yeah, sign me up. Hell no. I've made a lot of fucked up mistakes in my life, but I have a wife that I love and daughter who I'd fight a bear over. If I changed anything in my past, It would have a domino effect that may result in me not meeting my wife or messing up the timing of my daughter's conception and thus erasing her from my life. What good is becoming a billionaire gained from a life of foreknowledge if I have to carry the guilt of knowing I essentially killed my child to do it? Sure, why not? If it was that or go into the unknown after death, I'd replay. No thanks. I'd screw it up even worse the second time around. No. I wouldn't have the motivation to do K-12 again. No, because it'd still have the same family. That depends. Would the outcome be the same? Yes, of course. Better that than the void. Why would I want to subject myself to this hell twice? In the same body? No, I wouldn't. I have chronic conditions that are genetic and they suck enough that I've already decided to not have biological kids because I don't want to put them through what I've been through. Maybe if I had a different body I would just to see what living a normal life would be like. No, I'd rather start a new one. I'd give it another whirl. Maybe I can save Azrael the second time around. Nah, once is enough. I definitely would. Next time, I'll learn how to refuse alcohol from my dad and salty food from my mom to avoid getting fatter and kidney failure. Hell no, I ain't going through that again. Yes, just so 9th grade me wouldn't have missed this obvious signs a girl who had a crush on me that I had a crush on. I would totally do this. I've missed out on a lot of things due to anxiety and it would be nice to be able to do the things I haven't been able to. But being a baby again would suck. No, this planet fucking sucks. No, all the shit that I've endured has only made me stronger and more confident. I even stand up for other people now. Not this life. I'd want to go to a planet where there was a public hanging of a politician every Friday evening. So much I missed because I didn't pay attention. Would definitely listen to what people say and how they say it. If I could go back to the same life I have now, I'd spend as much effort as possible connecting with my dad, especially when it came to letting him know he wasn't alone. He got heavily into drinking after we had a falling out after he and my mom went their separate ways. He was never abusive or an asshole by any meaning of the words, just a very lonely man who felt terribly isolated. The signs were all there, and I know if I'd have tried my hardest, I could have helped him. He wound up dying alone, in a homeless shelter. The worst part was I had absolutely no idea, as I'd not connected with him for 8 months, and assumed he was still living in my hometown. I hated, and I mean, fucking despised the thought of just how scared he must have felt. He wasn't fit or conditions to living on the streets, drunk and high on a daily basis. He played golf before, even went on and on about all the cheese boards he'd buy. It sounds cliché, but I've never screamed as loudly and as painfully as I did when I got home after work, after hearing the news from my mum. I wanted to smash whatever rests above square on in its jaw and demand to know why it allows such horrible things to happen. Sorry for the downer, but that's definitely what I'd do. Yes, even at the tender age of 13, I have dozens of mistakes I wish I could fix. Not touching that plant at age 3. It hurt. Not swearing on the first day of 2nd grade. Would spare me a lot of loneliness from being banished to the back of the cafeteria. Not calling a guy named Joe Mama in grade 6. We're on good terms now, but it would have made one more hand sanitizer dispenser intact. Spending more time with my grandpa. He died recently. I regret not spending more time with him. And 4th and 5th grade. Oh God, 4th and 5th grade. My best friend, whom I had a crush on, the friend who liked me back at one point, was moving. I should have helped her and comforted her. But instead I was a jerk and pushed her away. I wish I could atone for that. I wish I could have got a second chance. You, Eve 388,594. I'm sorry. I wish I could have helped instead of losing my cool and burning every bridge. Please, oh please, if you are reading this, I ask for forgiveness. If I could try again I would. I'm sorry if you had to read this massive wall of text, but to those who did, I hope you know I am truly sorry. Thank you and goodbye. Of course there is not a single human alive who can say they lived without regrets and you are given the opportunity to try again. Like the thing anybody wants but never gets? Not tanking it would be a mistake. If it was unlimited, I would be fun to min-max your life, like seeing how far you can get. For such a time traveler, money would not be a problem. You can make money through Bitcoin, the GameStop meme, and a lot more stuff. You know how to help the right people and when, and maybe you can prevent some accidents. But life will lose some meaning if it even had to begin with. Before having kids? Yes, absolutely. After having kids, I'd have to seriously consider that if I changed anything, they wouldn't be around. I'm not sure I could handle that. Probably not. We can only take certain things so many times before we go, screw this. What's the point of continuing to do this if it's only going to be painful? Hell yeah. 2 for the price of 1. Definitely. I don't particularly regret my life choices, but being able to see people that I've lost and have the opportunity to cherish them again would be wonderful. Sure, I would. Basically cheat codes to prevent family members from dying early deaths? Why not? I also had some fucking lit memories of my preschool. I want to relive my awesome preschool teacher bringing in an NES every Friday. Absolutely. If I have any opportunity to avoid death, I'm going to take it. If I end up with my same kids, sure. Why not? Yes, definitely, I'd redo the decisions I made during the various turning points of my life. I'll cherish past friendships more and avoid my previous destructive behaviors and habits. I'll take time to listen to my grandparents' stories, play with my childhood dog, listen to that lonely kid in class, befriend those who were used to be bullied in high school, and so many more things. We did so many dumb things when we were young, and I just want to find peace by reliving some of them and do better. If I had all my previous knowledge, yes, then I'd show them all. I would. Whether I remember everything before or not. I'm restarting my life, but I'm not time traveling back in time, so I'll be having a completely different life the next time over. I'll be meeting completely different people, and that will then shape me in a completely different way than I was previously. If I had the option of restarting my life with my current knowledge, I would. That way I could avoid a lot of trauma and bad decisions, and periods of my life where I was absent, due to depression and anxiety. I kind of think we are on a loop. We do this over and over. I also believe certain people that have been classified schizophrenic with hallucinations are seeing their past lives and past people they have interacted with and themselves in their past. But that's a bit out there and makes me look nuts. Phew, no. Yes, I've had a good life. Could be a lot better, could be a lot worse. I'm agnostic, so if I die and have the chance to do it all again, why not? Better than rotting in the ground. Can I choose a different difficulty setting? The one I chose is too hard. I would just make YouTube videos as soon as I can, cause back when I was small, YouTube wasn't all that widely known in India, and I would have done it lol. Like all the way back to 1967? Do I get to keep my memories and make some investments, round about 1985 to 1995? Yes, to fix the one mistake that I can't ever live down. Depends, would it be a one-off? Could something be different than last time? Yes, I'd spend my early life in dark ages. No internet, phones, computer, but it will be worth it. Will save my father from cancer, mother from depression, make my family filthy rich, save some other relatives who died in accidents, visit Wuhan to avert COVID-19 crisis. Yes, but not for the reasons that I think people are expecting. I just am genuinely afraid to never have a chance at existing again and restarting my life. Even if that means I have to relive my abuse, means that I have a chance to live and breathe again. Nope, because so far it's been torture. No, most people's lives are pretty awful. I wouldn't want to risk it. I would at least once feel like I'd be playing with cheat codes. Woulda thrown my life savings into Bitcoin, pulled out at the 2017 high, reinvested at the bottom, pulled out again towards the most recent high, reinvested into Doge, then pull out there and put it back into Bitcoin. That's what I do for financial freedom. Then I feel like I could also do a lot more in the romantic aspects of my life. Just some ideas. I'd still choose Amelia. I recently bought sodium nitrite and was wondering this. This used to be my dream for so many years. I could cope by daydreaming, fantasizing what would I change. I don't think I feel that way anymore. I would just fuck it all up again. I suppose find a way to get my parents to invest in all those bug companies and cryptocurrencies now then start my own SpaceX. Yes and no. I would deeply miss all the bonds I've formed. It would be RLY weird to run up to the kid versions of all my friends and yell that we're actually family. I wouldn't be able to hold back and prove it by saying all their deepest secrets or whatever. Only reason I do want to restart would be if I could save lives somehow. Obviously I would have invested shit tons into Bitcoin and Ethereum as soon as I could. No, because everything happens for a reason, good or bad, and I don't want to change anything. So it'll just die, end of story. Live the same years over again or reincarnation? With my memories, yes, so I can make things right. If I can restart with my memory, yes please. Hoping for a first world country spawn point this time. Yes, because I want to better myself, better everyone else I encountered. I've made a lot of mistakes and I want to make up for them for the better. If you were killed, it's just revenge. Sure. I'd love a prestige round. What are the other options? Hell yeah. If I could prolong my life into the future past my lifespan and experience the things our species will accomplish, I'd do it in a heartbeat. Even now at the rate we're progressing, it's very possible that at my age I could live well past the year 3000 if we don't face a major extinction event beforehand. Mainly not date an ex or two and buckle down more in high school. Seized the day more often too. I would, because I was such a cringe child. I hope Robert 2.0 has a better life than me because I have so many regrets and almost 87% of which I can't say on Reddit for specific reasons. Thanks for watching. See you later.